All right, so this game is called 1001 Spikes. It's kind of a run-of-the-mill platformer. I've played it several times before, so we're going to kind of skip ahead a little bit past the standard introduction. It kind of teaches you how to play. Mostly the point of this is just to play every game in my Steam library, because I've got a significant number of them, and basically they're just sitting there being wasted. So like most games, I have no idea why I actually purchased this game to begin with. It's not really of a genre that I would normally play, so... Oh, so normally you start off with 1,001 lives, or 1,000 lives, or whatever, and the first time I tried to do this, I went through this whole spiel where I wrote up a script, and obviously it sounded fake and kind of rehearsed and done, because it was fake and rehearsed. So what I ended up doing was I made a whole little series about how at the end of the game, when you lose all your lives, the game actually son of a gun. The game actually it continues on infinitely. You just start over with 3 lives again from that same level you were on. So yeah, there's never really any. You're never gonna run out of lives. So oh, dang it. So anyway, yeah, after these 3 deaths, or whatever. See, there you go. That wasn't even smart. After you die 3 times here, you go through that little thing at the end that says, "Are you dead?" or "He's dead," or "Is he?" And then you get another 3 lives, and you get to start over from the same place. So yeah, I actually spent some time and tried to burn out all those lives, but there's so many of them, and I was just kind of I got to a particular level, and what I would do is I would just run. Dang. I would run and just fall in a hole and keep falling in a hole, falling in a hole, falling in a hole. And I did that probably 200 times, and that was like 15 minutes of gameplay. So I decided that was dumb, and I figured out how to edit the save file. So anyway, that's what I did. So that's why I've only got 3 lives on here, and I'm still at the beginning of the game. Damn. So it's a pretty tough game, as you can see. It's kind of in the same vein as a lot of those, earlier Nintendo games where it's just like a frustration machine, pretty much. The whole point of it is to make you die a whole bunch and get frustrated, and when you finish a game like this, I feel you actually have like a sense of accomplishment, whereas something that's just like an RPG or whatever, maybe you wouldn't feel that same sense of accomplishment after you even played 200-300 hours. Like, I didn't really particularly feel accomplished after I was like 400 hours into Fallout 3, including all the DLC and all that stuff. I didn't really feel accomplished. It was just kind of, okay, cool, I did it. Same thing with Final Fantasy VII on the PS1. Like, I've got, hundreds of hours into that game, because at the time there wasn't really anything else. I didn't really play any other games, so yeah, I got hundreds of hours into that, and I never really felt particularly accomplished. The only thing I could say about that in general is that I've tried to go back and play it a few times, and it just not at all into it. Like, I get through the part with the subway, and then I'm just like over it. So why do you die when you run into the stupid side of the spike? That doesn't make any sense. Unless there's poison all over the side of it or something. Ugh. Probably because then there would be no conflict in the game. Come on. Damn. See, it's just one of those frustration machines, so Got to keep trying, and I didn't even know that I'll be able to get past this part. This is literally as far as I've ever gotten in this game, and I've got maybe 2 hours into it, so, you know, going through the tutorial a few times back and forth, and just kind of messing around, you know, never really giving it a run. But, you know, this must be, oh shoot, this must be one of those games that I got from like Humble Bundle or something. Because I have no idea why I would have it otherwise. You know, I think I played Super Meat Boy, but only because it was in the Indie Game Movie. Like, I don't know that I would have played it otherwise. So, not to say that it's a bad game or anything. Ah, hell. Not to say that it's a bad game by any means. Shoot. But, it's just not really my thing. You know, I'm more into the kind of long, drawn-out experiences, such as, you know, the Fallout games, Fallout New Vegas 3, you know, all of those kind of games. So, but you know, I've been planning this out for actually quite a while. Since I've got this huge Steam library, I worked at a place as a programmer, and some friends of mine and I, every time there was a Steam sale, we would all like have this contest to see who could buy the most stuff. And oftentimes I won that because at the time I didn't have any kids and I had a lot of disposable income. So I've got, you know, tons and tons of games in my Steam library, and I've played, you know, maybe 1 or 2% of them. And it's a shame because as a programmer, even a mediocre one, I know how much work goes into doing something like this. You know, so it really, you know, it's really a shame. Shoot. It's really a shame to just let those kind of go by the wayside and just rot in my library. So my goal with this is to play every game in there. There's at this, you know, right now there's about 1,500, but I'm sure as time goes on I'm gonna buy more because that's generally what I do. Shoot. So yeah, so as I go, my plan is to keep covering games. You know, not really do like a full review or anything because that's kind of, as anybody who's attempted to do it before, that's a pretty intensive move. It's pretty intensive to do a full review. Like, for example, the first time that I tried to do this game in particular, I spent probably 2 days in writing out a little script and, you know, capturing footage. And it turned out, actually, after all that the footage I recorded, all of the vocal on it got messed up. So, I was using OBS, but I saved it in a format that didn't split out the vocal and the game audio. So all you could hear was this really, really loud game audio and my voice kind of in the background. So when I did that, I went through and I wrote a script, and I read part of it, you know, kind of, I started it, I read about, you know, half of it. I had, I don't know, about 1,500 words written or something like that. I'll post it on my website when I post this game up here, just so there's some kind of context and maybe put out the story a little bit. But yeah, so I went through and wrote, you know, not, I guess it could be considered like a proper review, but it was so incredibly time consuming. With 1,500 games, that's going to take forever to complete. So I'm hoping with this, I mean, realistically, if I could do like 3 or 4 games every day, I should be able to get this whole thing done in a pretty reasonable amount of time. So that's kind of the thought here. And it may be just like this. Most of the games I might be sitting at this stupid loading screen for 10 or 15 minutes before I finally give up. You know, games like this can be pretty difficult. So, oh, shoot. See? This is like, this right here is the first real level after you get through the little tutorial missions, which are like really easy. So it makes it seem like, you know, like you're gonna do well at the game. But really, you're probably not. So anyway, you know, it's a good game. The controls are nice and tight. You know, it's interesting. The environments and stuff are compelling, and the story is kind of hokey. But you know, John Carmack said that at one time, story doesn't belong in video games anyway. So you know, if you prescribe to that theory, then it's right where it needs to be, really. So, yeah. So I'm gonna just try to play a couple games every day, and you know, do these videos, and hopefully I can actually get through the entire collection. Well, remember, there's a spike there. I think I probably gotta go and go quick. Yep. Oh, shizzle. That's all right. I didn't have the keys, so it wouldn't have made sense anyway. So anyway, try it again here. Whoop. I'm hoping that eventually I'll actually get decent at this. I'm guessing probably not, with the amount that I've died so far on this. So, you know, it's whatever. It is whatever. It's funny how you go through something like this and you find all the different ways that you could possibly achieve your goal. And then you die and you go back and you find a whole nother way. That game, Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy, is a lot like that. That game is awful. Just awful. It's like this times 1,000. It is such a neat game, but it is so frustrating. So incredibly frustrating. And this with the 2 different jump heights is always going to be a pain in the butt. So, and then see, I keep hitting the wrong jump. Okay, you go up. Okay. Come on, come on. Okay, got you. Come down here. See, yeah, that spike was right in my face and it didn't kill me then, so... And right there, I was just kind of... Whoa! Touching the side of it there, so... Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, here you go. Ow! Son of a... Alright, I think I'm going to leave it there. So, if you made it this far, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try to put out more of these. So, we'll see if I can make that happen. Alright, thanks.